a player who was breaking records as a teenager, a generational talent who was predicted to have a star-studded future even before he laced up his skates in the NHL for the first time. And in the end, he was indeed selected as the #1 pick in the draft. Today, he plays in the toughest hockey league in the world. But is his performance truly that exceptional, or did we simply place unrealistic expectations on him? This is the story of Connor Bedard. A story of immense talent, but also of pressure, doubts, and challenges he had to face from the moment he captured the attention of the entire hockey world. His journey wasn't easy. It wasn't a fairy tale without obstacles. Quite the opposite. Bedard had to fight against media pressure, fan expectations, and even his own body. Yet he still managed to rise. But let's go back to the very beginning. Connor Bedard grew up in a hockey-loving family. But for him, it wasn't just a sport, it was a way of life. He idolized Sidney Crosby, studying his every move, from skating to shooting, in an attempt to emulate his game. Already at the age of 14, the hockey world began to speak of him as a prodigy. Bedard's path to junior hockey was exactly what you'd expect from such a talent, fast and full of success. In 2019, at just 15 years old, he became the youngest player ever to play in the Canadian WHL for the Regina Pats. Many expected the young player to take some time to adapt, to get used to the pace and strength of older players. But Connor Bedard shattered all expectations within just a few games. He showed that limits are just illusions. He was collecting points, scoring goals, and dominating in a way rarely seen at his age. His debut in the league was a showcase of what he could do. Bedard managed to score in his very first game and went on to become one of the biggest talents in the WHL. In his first year in junior hockey, he recorded an impressive 28 goals and 30 assists. Many in the hockey world began saying he was one of the greatest talents the Canadian League had ever seen. As Bedard himself said, "I always knew I had something different. My goal was to constantly improve and be better than I was yesterday." But it was the coaches and players who spoke most about his potential. Patrick Wierciak, a former NHL player who coached Bedard, said about him, "He's a special player. He has great puck skills, but what's truly incredible is his ability to read the game and make the right decisions at the right time. That's something very few players his age possess." His game kept getting stronger, and to everyone around him, it was clear that he had everything it took to become a superstar. In 2022, at the age of 16, he became, in the eyes of experts, the favorite to be picked first in the upcoming NHL draft. General manager of the Regina Pats, John Paddock, stated, "There's something in his game you can't teach. Something you either have or you don't. He's a player who can decide games. Everyone on the ice knows that when he has the puck, anything can happen." In 2021, he played at the U18 World Championship, giving him the opportunity to showcase his skills on the international stage at just 16 years old. Canada left the tournament with a gold medal, and Bedard finished second in team scoring. His performance confirmed his status as a generational talent and drew comparisons to players like Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby. He continued his incredible play in the league and became the youngest player in WHL history to score 50 goals in a single season. He finished the year with 51 goals and 49 assists, for a total of 100 points. To understand how exceptional this was, only 3 players in WHL history, including Bedard, have surpassed the 100-point mark in a season at the age of 16. The 2022-2023 season was truly legendary. Bedard dominated the league in a way never seen before. In just 64 games, he recorded 81 goals and 82 assists, leading the league in goals, points, and points per game. He once again shined at the 2023 World Junior Championship. Connor broke several records and became the most productive player in Canadian history at the tournament with 23 points, rewriting record books previously topped by legends like Jordan Eberle and Eric Lindros. Canada won the tournament and claimed the gold medal, while Bedard was named the tournament's most valuable player and best forward. And then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. As expected, Bedard was selected as the first overall pick in the draft. His dream became a reality. Bedard himself revealed, "As a kid, I always dreamed of playing in the NHL. "I'm thrilled that Chicago picked me and plans to build a team around me." Bedard wasted no time and immediately shone in the NHL. He recorded his first assist in his debut on October 10th and scored his first goal the very next night against the Boston Bruins. In December 2023, he scored a Michigan-style goal against the St. Louis Blues. Wayne Gretzky commented, "It was fun to watch him." He was later selected to the NHL All-Star Game. But nothing comes without problems. In January, he was stopped by an injury. After a hard hit from defenseman Brendan Smith, he suffered a broken jaw. However, Bedard quickly returned to form, and on March 12th, he posted a career-high 5 points in a single game, further solidifying his place among the NHL's brightest young stars. He finished the season as the NHL's top rookie, with 22 goals and 39 assists in 68 games. For his performance, he received the prestigious trophy for the league's best rookie. The 2024-25 season, however, brought his first rough patch. Chicago was struggling, losing game after game, and fans were growing increasingly frustrated. Speculation began to swirl around Bedard. Was he even happy with what was happening on the team? He later commented that he was upset by all the losses, but emphasized that he remained loyal to the club and wanted to stay. Connor Bedard is under immense pressure, not only from the media, but also from fans who place unrealistic expectations on him and expect miracles every game. Some even began to doubt whether he is truly a generational talent. But the problem isn't with Bedard. The problem is the enormous expectations that were placed on him from the very beginning. His play this season is fine. On the contrary, Bedard is showing that he has enormous potential. The real problem lies in the doubts and pressure that have followed him ever since he was drafted first overall. From day one, he was expected to become the new face of the entire league, and that's not an easy role to fill. Coaches and team management continue to protect and defend Bedard. At the time, head coach Luke Richardson pointed out, "Connor isn't here just to be a defensive specialist, but defensive responsibilities always have to come first. Against strong opponents, you need responsible play on the back end, and Connor is doing his job the right way." But Bedard's biggest challenge isn't his own game. It's the team around him. The Blackhawks are still rebuilding, they lack true offensive stars, and the entire team is in a prolonged scoring slump. And here comes an interesting comparison. Bedard, who is younger than most of his teammates, has significantly better stats and is carrying almost the entire offense on his shoulders. He finished the 2024-25 season with 23 goals and 44 assists in 82 games. The Chicago management is, of course, aware of this. General Manager Kyle Davidson has repeatedly emphasized that this is a long-term process. The team is still at the beginning of its rebuild, and tough times are a natural part of that. The fact that Bedard can shine even in such a situation shows just how good he really is. As early as December 2024, Chicago's management responded to the disappointing results and decided to fire head coach Luke Richardson. He was temporarily replaced by Anders Sorensen. However, even this change didn't bring the expected turnaround. The team kept struggling and ultimately finished 15th in the Western Conference. On May 22nd, Jeff Blashill took over the team, tasked with bringing the Blackhawks back among the NHL elite. With his extensive experience from various leagues, Blashill becomes a key figure in the team's rebuild. It's now up to him to get the most out of a young and talented roster and help bring Chicago back to winning ways. Connor Bedard has his whole career ahead of him. But even now, it's clear we're witnessing one of the most compelling stories in modern hockey. Comparisons to stars like Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, or Jack Hughes are not exaggerated. Bedard is a hockey miracle, a once-in-a-generation talent. Even as a teenager, he was under incredible scrutiny. But despite all the hype, one simple question still hangs in the air. Is Connor Bedard just an overrated prospect, or is he truly a player who will change the entire league? The jump from juniors to the NHL is always tough. The league is faster, harder, the competition ruthless. But Bedard is adapting. With every game, he's gaining experience. And even when things don't go smoothly, it's more than clear that he has everything it takes to become a star. Will he be able to keep his confidence when the team is struggling? And can he be the leader who pulls Chicago back among the elite? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the hockey world will be watching him. Every step, every shift, every decision. And what do you think? Will Bedard become the new face of the NHL? Or will the pressure eventually be too much for him? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. See you next time. Peace out.